Hey guys, Pup C here, and it is another week of vegan news. So all the articles I'm about to discuss, I actually have direct links to them, so you can check everything out for yourself. It's all linked up from my BlueSky account. So if you use BlueSky or the BlueSky app, my handle is Pup C Raw, and that's where you'll find all of these interesting articles and videos that I mentioned. Well, kicking it off, I did see a recipe this week for vegan recipes that focused on including more than 5 vegetables. So if you're looking for something really fibrous and veggie rich, there's all kinds of really delicious things here, from Spanish paellas to some tahines. So very interesting. There's also some gluten-free longevity noodles and some bean stews. So all kinds of stuff in there. Now, another great article that I saw was more sciencey. It is a butter that has been made not using animals, not using plants, okay? This butter is made in a fermentation process, and it literally converts carbon dioxide, green hydrogen, and methane into structured fats, aka butter. So they are taking butter and making it from the air, basically. It's magic. It is science. It is the future. Amazing article. So I thought that was very interesting, and I'm sure there's going to be more food to come made in these really innovative ways. Also, I do hear a lot of people mention that it's difficult to shop vegan, it's expensive, things like that. So there's this great post from a TikToker who is famous for shopping on the cheap. She only spends about $28 a week on her all vegan groceries and has lots of videos kind of going through what she buys, how she makes her food. It is really cool if you're looking for some ideas to make vegan food on the cheap. Honestly, you can do better than $28 a week if you're super simple. I know it because I had to do it before, but yeah, get some inspiration from her. And then another article that I really liked was it listed 12 cheap and easy breakfasts that you can make completely vegan in under 5 minutes. So literally someone once said to me that they were vegan but stopped because it took too much time. And I just found that absolutely hilarious. I think I mentioned it before, but it was a guy making sandwiches at a sandwich shop. And I was next to someone who had ordered a meat sandwich, and I ordered a veggie sandwich. And he literally probably was spent less time making mine. I should have said this in the moment, but the meats, he had all these meats he had to add to this meat sandwich. Mine's just veggie. It was easier, faster. I'm like, sir, you're disapproving yourself by making these two comparable sandwiches. Like, veggie sandwiches are faster. But anyways, I just thought that was so crazy. Like, my brain stopped when he told me. Like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Take a banana, eat it, grab a bowl of cereal, done. Like, I just couldn't comprehend. But honestly, it seems like if people just don't want to be vegan anymore, maybe it's harder for them to say they don't care. Maybe they have to come up with some creative reason that they think makes sense, but that one was wild. So anyways, if you do have not much time, this little article I posted has really fast, under 5-minute breakfast meals that you can make totally vegan, so that is helpful. I did see also this amazing video of animals being rescued from the Ukraine war zone, and it was just incredibly cheerful. I love seeing nice things like that. Any win for animals, big or small, I'll take it. Yes, thank you, fantastic. And a win for humans is that there's a new vegan chocolatey ice cream released by Ben & Jerry's. So a lot of people got excited about that. This new flavor, rave reviews from vegan and non-vegans alike. It is officially a non-dairy chocolate caramel brownie. So that exists now. Thank you, Ben & Jerry's. And to go to a health side of things, there was a health article talking about plant-based diets that lower risks from cardiometabolic disorders. So if you have a cardiometabolic disorder, and they kind of go through specifically what those are in the article, definitely a veggie diet, plant-based diet, vegan diet, that's going to be your way to go. Some of the really cool ending notes of the article had made mention of soy milk, which is better for cardiometabolic health than cow's milk because it reduces blood pressure and cholesterol and inflammation. And also something that I think at this point is obvious, but kind of news to some people, you get more protein from plants than animals. If you do that, you could reduce the risk of heart disease. So plants, the way to go. Just again, there's so many articles about how healthy veganism is, so it's constant, and I'll always post new articles I see and new studies and new research that prove it any time of day. Now, if you want to get fancy with vegan desserts, which isn't like the healthiest side of veganism, but delicious and exciting, and if you're a baker, there's a great little post showing all these more high-end desserts, like chocolate croissants and baked Alaska and tiramisu cheesecake, marzipan challah, chocolate eclairs, right? So all kinds of really more next level desserts that are posted there. They look so good. And then I saw that there was a Food Innovation Award. In fact, it was the 2025 World Food Innovation Award. And this year it won vegan, yay! So best ingredient innovation at this award presentation was a vegan product. It wasn't a vegan category. The category was best ingredient innovation. And the winner was this AngioPro yeast protein. It's a vegan protein. Obviously, you can use it in like protein shakes and smoothies, but they're incorporating it into other food items too. So if someone's trying to bulk up their food with extra protein, this vegan ingredient is something that apparently just knocked the judges' socks off to win this award. It was a plant-based fermentation product, so it's not animal-based, it's plant-based, and it includes complete amino acid profile. It's supposed to be super easy to digest and increases beneficial gut bacteria, so it's just a banger of a product apparently. And then I saw an article just a few days ago, it got posted. There was Dr. Shireen Kassam, and she was blasting the carnivore diet. She mentioned so many things. Some of the highlights I saw was that the carnivore diet has super high saturated fat and cholesterol. I know she called it a pseudoscience diet, which I found hilarious. She's like, yeah, it lacks key micronutrients. And this carnivore diet, it will increase your chance of diabetes and heart disease and stroke and dementia, anxiety, depression, cancer, right? All sounds like a bad time. Now, she puts things much more eloquently and kind of describes things a little bit better in this article. But those were the highlights. And I'm just like, yo, like if even you're thinking about carnivore diet, like for your own health, please, please, just check out that article, check out the research, because it is not healthy. Oh my gosh. And by the opposite side of the coin, veganism, it has been proven to be so healthy. So plants are our friends, guys. Good for eating, super healthy. Anyways, moving on. There was yet another article from a few days ago, and it was someone who created a YouTube video. And they were just listing out all the different strategies when you're a new vegan to help you stay on the journey, right? And there were top 6 things that this person recommended to focus on. One is strategize, prep, like make meal prep foods, implement what you strategize, customize. You know, veganism should fit your diet, embrace flexibility. It's your plan, it's not someone else's plan for how you eat. And I would have to add that there's no perfect. So that would be my number 7. There's no perfect. So like if you make a vegan mistake, a quote unquote mistake, it's not a big deal, right? You live, you learn. And if you go from 0 to vegan, I mean, it's a pretty steep learning curve because you don't even realize like all these things you've been eating that they have animal products. It's shocking. Like I remember Hostess products like Twinkies and Ding Dongs and all that. Pretty much all Hostess food uses beef fat. I'm like, what the heck? Why does this all have beef fat? That's so crazy. Or gosh, there were so many things I was just surprised by. I think fried rice and chow mein, I wasn't paying attention that there was egg in it. And I'm like, oh, there's egg in here, man, you know? And then there's things that will shock you. Like you can go to a boba shop And a lot of the milk teas in boba shops, those are non-dairy, baby, because dairy is more expensive. So they'll use cheaper soy product for their milk teas. You just have to ask. So anyways, I would say there's no perfect, if you make a quote unquote mistake, you eat something, accidentally that's not vegan or whatever, who cares? Get back on board. You're fine. Keep going. You make such a huge impact by going vegan with how many animal lives that you save that honestly, if you have one or two mess ups, it's not a big deal in the grand scheme of things. We're all human. We make mistakes, no reason to get down on yourself. And there's so many styles of eating. You can live off beer and Oreos if you want to be unhealthy. And you're just I'm here for the animals, man. But I love my beer and Oreos. Okay. Or you can be I want to be super healthy. Eat really nutrient-rich, plant-based whole food diet. I mean, bam. If you're into health, that's it for you. Vegan Mediterranean diet. But anyways, yeah, check it out. So many amazing things to eat vegan. Healthy to junk food, everything in between. The tastiest things are out there now. My goodness. And speaking of tasty things out there, okay, there was another little article I shared about a Michelin star restaurant in New York. If you haven't heard of it, it's 11 Madison Park. It has 3 Michelin stars, okay? And they're opening or reopening their pop-up shop, and it's called Bake It Nice. At this pop-up shop, you can get your own Michelin star food for $8. It is this really famous pastry they make called a Madison Square. It's kind of like a cronut where they have all those flaky layers of croissant, and it's put into what I think of a square bun shape. But yeah, it's super famous. There's really long lines. But if I was in New York, I would have to pay $8 to try a Michelin star pastry. I'm give it to me. Let me try this. So that was really fun if you live in New York. Now, there was some progress with some animal protection bills in Virginia that passed recently. They're baby steps, because when I looked into it, I'm man, it's kind of sad that this has to be considered progress for animal rights, but it's better than not having these things in place. So Virginia passed 2 different bills into law. One of them basically said instead of killing primates when the labs that experiment with them are done with the primates, they usually just kill them at the end of the cycle. And now the law says, okay, you have to actually consider moving them to an accredited sanctuary. Get a veterinarian on board to help you decide if that makes sense to put them in a sanctuary. You can't just say, oh, we're going to kill them now. Again, better than nothing. So it's the tiniest baby step in progress, and I'll take it. At least we're moving forward here. Number 2, there's more transparency that's required for violations from testing facilities that are publicly funded. And these are animal testing facilities, so experimentation labs, basically. They can't cover up, deny, hide violations that are made. So it'll force more transparency. Again, the labs still exist, who knows how effective this will be, but it is a baby step forward. So at least something is happening, and we'll take it. We'll take it. I do like sharing news of bigger wins, and there have been some of those in the past few weeks, illegal wins, which I love to see. But every win, big or small for animals, is fantastic. And I hope you're all having a great day. I'll come back next week with the next update of vegan news. Okay, bye guys.